guys, hi fam, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sotoye Kelechi Wunzi. If you're seeing me for the first time, hi. Okay, everybody calls me Soti Baby, Soti Mama, Soti Special, Soti Sprinkle, Soti Spicy, Soti Life. But today we are wearing our legal hat. Okay, so you can call me the legal juggernaut. Anyway, so it's been a while since I filmed an episode of the legal roundup. So here we are today. I've been quite busy, but something caught my attention, and I thought that I would bring my legal opinion based off of my experience to you guys today. Okay, first and foremost, this is not legal advice. Okay, this is not professional legal advice. Always hire a lawyer, seek legal counsel, seek professional counsel. This is my opinion based on research, based on my experience. But again, you must always hire a lawyer. Don't quote me, okay? Don't quote me. All right, so let's get into the video. But before we do that, don't forget to thumbs up this video, like, okay, and subscribe to the channel. Share with your friends who are, might be interested in topics like this. Okay, all right, I'm going to read to you briefly a post I saw on a blog, okay, a mommy blog called Confessions. Mom Confessions. Okay, so the summary of the story is that they've been married. I'll put it on the screen somewhere here so you guys can see. They've been married for 4 years with 2 kids. Okay, he acts nice outside but is physically, emotionally, and verbally abusive at home. It became all life-threatening, so she asked for a divorce. He said him and his lawyers will frustrate the process. She hasn't seen her kids in 4 months. Now he has given her conditions. Okay, so the age of the kids is 3-year and 1-year-old, and this is the 4th year of marriage. Okay, and then she said the conditions that he gave her, okay, to settle outside of court. So he's asking her to withdraw the case and let them settle outside of court. And the condition he has given her, one is that she should rent an apartment and should not stay with her parents, even though her parents, according to her, live in a duplex of 8 bedrooms, which 5 rooms are empty. The second condition is that he will pay a monthly fee of his choice at any time he wants for the kids' welfare. So he's the one that he will choose when and which month he will pay for welfare of the children. That she should return the bride price, but she, according to her, is not sure that he would accept the bride price, and that he will pay their school fees. That's the 4th condition. Okay, so she's asking, should she take this option and the condition because she has not seen her kids in 4 months? So he has held them hostage or kidnapped her kids, anyhow you want to put it, because he has given these options, and obviously she knows that the stress of divorce can take a toll on her physically and all of that. Should she just take his conditions and then proceed, drop the case and whatever the case may be? Okay, so you guys know me now, so okay, first of all, I already wrote my comment. Okay, I gave her some comments, some advice, okay, my personal advice, professionally and otherwise, in the comments. So I'm going to read out my own advice and then butter up, like speak more on what I said. Okay, the first thing I said is that she should get a good lawyer and file for custody of the children first. Okay, what does this mean? You can file for custody of the kids while divorce proceedings are going on. That means you will just approach the family court or approach, depending on the state you're in. I don't know, it doesn't say what state in Nigeria she lives in, but I know Rivers State has a family court now, so you can approach the family court to seek custody of your children. And knowing that the kids are girls and they are that young, 3 and 1, the court is more likely to grant custody if you can show reasons why you need custody of the children. Okay, that's 1. 2, you should get a good lawyer. I said get a good lawyer. A good lawyer must always be a lawyer that specializes in the thing you are doing. Okay, lots of the times people hire a lawyer. Oh, my family member is a lawyer, this person is a lawyer. I just hire somebody that charge and bail law or things like that. No, you need a lawyer that specializes in family law when it comes to divorce proceedings, when it comes to family custody issues and things like that. Okay, the next thing I said is that she should go to the FIDA Center, Women's Rights Center, any human rights organization, but specifically FIDA, because it deal with a lot of these kinds of issues with women seeking custody of their children and all of that. So she should visit one of those centers, especially FIDA in their state, that they will have a lawyer, they will have people that will be able to help her and guide her through, okay, in the area of custody, in the area of advice and counseling and mediation and all of that. I even mentioned that FIDA might be able to help her mediate the situation if she wants to tow that route. 3, she should go to the police and make a report of the domestic violence incident. Yes, because if you are filing filing for divorce, there are certain areas of law, okay, where you in the divorce proceedings, I think in one of my videos I explained them completely, that you can't just file for divorce. People think that in movies you file for divorce, they will type it up, lawyer will type, the other one will type, then you bring it and you sign. It's not that way. There are certain grounds, okay, that must be considered, okay, that must exist if you are trying to file for divorce, okay, if you are trying to file divorce proceedings. And let me just briefly summarize. The only ground for dissolution of marriage in under the act, so now this is not customary law, this is not Islamic marriage, this is marriage under the act, where you have been married in the registry and you have been given a marriage certificate with the coat of arms, not that your church marriage certificate, not that one, the one that has the Nigerian coat of arms. That's marriage under the act. So if you have been married under the act, there's only one reason why you can seek dissolution of marriage, and that is if the marriage has broken down irretrievably. Section 15(1) of the Matrimonial Causes Act. And there are a list of, about 6, is it 6 or 7? 7 or 8 list conditions that must be met. You can meet either or, okay, to come under the the grounds for dissolution of marriage. One, that the respondent has willingly and persistently refused to consummate the marriage. That is, the marriage, the respondent has committed adultery and the petitioner finds it intolerable to live with the respondent. So you that petition, so let's say the woman is the one that petitioned for divorce and adultery is one of the things that he has committed, you can prove it and you cannot live, you are not expected to be able to live with the conditions of that adultery, then you can file for dissolution of marriage. That since the marriage, the respondent has behaved in such a manner that the petitioner cannot reasonably be expected to live with the respondent. So this is the condition based on what she has said that she can come under, okay, because cruelty, domestic violence, abuse, physical abuse, all sorts of things she can come under here. But the problem with this section C or subsection C is that you have to prove the cruelty. You have to prove that the thing that he has done, nobody can expect you to live with him, because the condition doesn't just say, oh, he has been bad or he has been cruel, has been abusive. Is that the petitioner cannot reasonably be expected to live with the respondent. So you actually have to prove that. That is why you need the police report. You also need a medical report. I didn't add that here, but you need a medical report. You need photographs to show the domestic violence, to show the abuse. You need eyewitness testimony. You need evidence to prove this particular part. This is why most of the time it's very difficult to prove this, because when you are being beaten or being abused, nobody is really thinking of recording it. You're running for your life and things like that. You're not in the right frame of mind at the time to look for a solution, if that makes any sense, or look for evidence rather. So I mentioned that she should actually still make a police report, depending on the angle or the grounds that she wants to come from. At least there should be a record of that. I would add that she should go to the police station and gather as much evidence as possible. Would there be any witnesses willing to testify? But the problem again with this is that a lot of judges, okay, or lawyers even in general, don't like to use this part, because divorce proceedings, in fact, court proceedings are public knowledge, okay? Any child, their children can go and search for these things, yes, they can find out that this is what happened between their parents. So people rather avoid that. And to avoid that, you now come under E, okay? There's D as well, that the respondent has deserted the petitioner for a continuous period of at least 1 year immediately preceding the presentation of the petition. Then E, which most people like to come under, that the parties of the marriage have lived apart for a continuous period of at least 2 years immediately preceding the presentation of the petition, and the respondent does not object to the decree being granted. So this has a condition. You'll be living apart for 2 years, and the respondent, that's, let's say, her husband now, because she filed the petition, the respondent is not challenging the fact that they've been separated for 2 years and living apart. That way, that is a ground. That is a safer ground, is easier, straightforward, to the point. There's no issue. Then the next one is also that the parties to the marriage had lived apart for a continuous period of at least 3 years immediately preceding the presentation of the petition. This does not have any condition. You've been living apart for 3 years, you don't have any ties, nothing, there's no consummation, people are not knocking at the behind, okay? 3 years separation is clean and clear and easier, okay, to deal with. And then typically at the conclusion of the ruling for dissolution of marriage, when the decree 9 star is granted, the judge will oftentimes, if the parties have brought that as a grounds for divorce or an issue to be settled, like custody, sharing of property, all those things like that might be, they may have been prayers sought in the petition. So the judge might typically handle that. But this case, this woman might not be able to wait till that long. Someone that has already taken her kids from her for 4 months, I mean, I would advise that she seeks, approaches the family court to seek custody of her children. And the truth of the matter is that all these things this man is talking about, he has no legal rights, to impose them on her. He cannot tell her that she cannot live with her parents. He cannot decide, when to pay school fees or not. The law is even, it stipulates that the men, not men alone, but parents should be able to take on the accommodation, welfare, medical, education, and all sorts of their children. You gave birth to them, you should be able to take care of them, It is not a situation where you can just tell the wife, oh, I will pay when you want and all of that. No, he has no right. He's just trying to intimidate her. And I think there's also a bit of narcissism and control and still some sort of abuse going on here, why he wants to know where she lives, knowing that if she's under the parents' house, he may not have access to her and the kids in that manner and things like that. She needs to stand her ground and be okay with that. Then the next thing I said after the police report, I said she should be reconciled with her family as soon as possible because she will need their support. At the end of the day, any person, man or woman, any partner that makes you separate from your family, pushes you away from your family, just there's a red flag underneath that. Unless your family, they are like really negative people, they're really hurting you, they're abusing you, they don't want the best for you. But if you have a good family and all of that, if you notice that any small thing that your partner is complaining or at the slightest instance he's or she is acting weird when it comes to your family and all of that, be careful. This is one of the steps to isolating a person and being able to effect abuse on them, if that makes any sense. All right. Then the next thing I said is that she should get a job, so that she can show that she can take care of the kids. And that's something I said too, because even though you are a woman and your kids are very young, you have to be able to provide shelter and accommodation at least for your children. So if you want to show the courts that you're fit, as a parent, you take care of your kids, then you need to get a job, you need to get something doing, you need to at least receive a source of income, Even if you're not receiving a source of income officially, if she can show that maybe her family is supporting her, they're willing to support her, then it might be better for her. At least she might stand a better chance to secure the custody of her kids and just get a better life for herself. Generally speaking, whether the kids were there or not, she should definitely get a job, because again, any man that tells you, oh, don't work, I will take care of you, all of that, please, we're in 2023. Even if it means staying, don't go to the office, and stay home with the kids. There's so many things you can be doing online. This YouTube that we're doing online, you can do it online as well. There's so many ways you can make income online without actually leaving your home. So don't ever let a person or a man or otherwise tell you that you have to do certain things just to be able to take care of your kids. Like you must stay home, you must not work, you must not have any source of income, you must not talk to your family, you must not have friends. All these, I don't keep friends. My husband and my husband is my best friend. My husband is my only friend. A lot of the time, not all. There are good men. There are people who find satisfaction in their marriage, them alone, their partners alone. But a lot of the time, it's a tactic or by narcissistic people that want to control you, controlling men, abusive people who want to isolate you from everybody. So you are solely dependent on them for survival. Be careful of that. All right. So the next thing I said is be prepared to fight like hell for your life, and the life of your kids. And I told her not to take any conditions he's offering. He has no right. And any lawyer, that is telling her that she should go and telling him, or helping him intimidate, they should go and check themselves. Her lawyer should even be able to give her all this advice I'm giving. So of course, this is just my, this is my personal opinion. And the last thing I would just add is that if for any reason, like all the grounds of divorce, she can't come under, like let's say she doesn't have evidence for the pictures, for the block C to show that she has been living in a cruel condition and all of that, he has been abusive. If she doesn't have evidence, she doesn't have witness testimony, all of that, she can also file for judicial separation. So that is, you file a petition, and it's also based on similar grounds, like this has been happening, I want the court to officially recognize that I've been judicially separated. Like judicial separation means separation from your partner, and the partner is legally not allowed to have access to you. So that's a way to stall the divorce proceedings if for any reason you are not you've not been married up to 2 years, because you have to be married for 2 years or more to come under this provision. But if you've been married for less than 2 years, you can seek leave of court. I think that's an exception, but then you can do your research. But basically the law says 2 years, from 2 years and above you can come under divorce proceedings. But if for any reason you can do judicial separation, you can seek custody of the kids, you can do whatever you need to do to get your children. Okay, so yeah, again, to summarize, please, she should seek legal advice if you're in trouble, if you have these kinds of situations. Okay, I would even suggest, based on working with human rights organizations like FIDA, don't make your plan known too quickly. Okay, when you announce, oh, I'm getting a divorce, I'm seeking divorce, they will take your children. A lot of men, a lot of family members use the children to hold women hostage. Okay, they know that you love your kids more than anything. They know that you will do anything for your kids. You will not want to leave your kids. So if you're in this kind of situation, plan wisely. Okay, plan. But don't announce, I'm getting a divorce. No, take a strategy, know where you're going to run to, know who you're going to speak to, be going to human rights organizations quietly, talk to family members, make an exit strategy, so that when you wake up and say, yes, I'm liberating myself, I'm going to file for divorce, I'm going to leave this marriage, they don't have anything to hold you hostage to. You have your kids, you have your family, you've saved some more money, you have where you live, he doesn't know your address, things like that. Okay, so that is what my personal advice would be like. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any questions, please leave me a leave me a comment in the comment section. If it's anonymous, you want to be anonymous, you want it to be private, send me a DM on Instagram, or you can send me an email. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Legal Roundup. Bye.